From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio on the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Hello, welcome to UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Bria Perdeman.
And I'm Rachel Lloyd. Today we have a look at the top stories in local news. Penn State's Jerry Sandusky was convicted in June 2012 for sexual harassment charges on his former football players.
Sandusky will face 45 years in prison after pleading guilty in court, and now the victims will seek compensation.
Penn State will be paying $59.7 million to 26 sexual abuse victims. 23 of the victims have fully signed their settlements thus far. The remaining 3 are agreed in principle, and within the next few weeks, final documentation will follow. University President Rodney Erickson remarks on the agreement and says this is another mark in the healing process for the victims of Sandusky's actions. Students here at the U of I campus were reminded this week of the importance of conserving energy on a daily basis. Sustainability Week brought awareness to the U of I.
Yeah, what is this thing?
What thing is this?
Yeah, it's causing a problem.
Problems are everywhere in our world. This week, the University of Illinois is focusing on fixing problems in our environment with Sustainability Week. Nate Lawrence is the co-president of Students for Environmental Concerns. He says being sustainable is a broad topic we can work on.
We sort of just see it in general as living and operating in a way that we affect future generations as little as possible.
The Sustainable Student Farmers Market offers low-input food to students on the quad, while Bike Fix-It Day allowed students to get their bike repaired for a low cost. But why should we care about being sustainable? Michael Strock, a member of Students for Environmental Concern, explains.
You know, this is really something that affects kind of everyone's life. We're in the middle of a kind of radical time.
Riding a bike is a great way for students to reduce their carbon footprint around campus. Bike Fix-It Day is a way to raise awareness about sustainability.
Bikes are huge for reducing carbon footprint is sort of the main one. What we found, especially like living on campus, you can replace pretty much all your car miles with bike miles, and then you go from burning fossil fuels in your car to carbon neutral, bikes that produce no carbon dioxide.
Fix it up. Nate hopes that the little changes can grow to something larger.
I'd like to see, I guess in general, policies put in place that sort of will build on each other so that we start moving off of an unsustainable fossil fuel industry.
In Urbana, I'm Melissa Bohenick for UI7 Newsbreak.
Taking shorter showers and turning the heat down are great ways students can be sustainable in their daily lives.
Opportunities in higher education for undergraduates are underway at the U of I. The Career Center at the University of Illinois hosted the 2013 Graduate and Professional School Fair this week. Hundreds of schools from around the country make their way to the U of I campus to share what higher education opportunities they had to offer. Students were welcome to come to the Illini Union to learn more about higher education and utilize resources that the Career Center has to offer. The Career Center also allows for students to set up individual appointments, mock interviews, and attend workshops designed for students continuing their education. The University of Illinois alone had 17 programs at the fair in areas ranging from business to science and nursing. In the midst of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Sarah Nolan shares her story of losing her mother to the disease. Since her mother's death, Sarah has focused on staying strong both mentally and physically. She even ran a fight against breast cancer.
I would do anything to get the little time that I had with my mom back, so.
Sarah Nolan is a sophomore here at the University of Illinois. Her mother, Noreen, passed away from breast cancer this past summer. Sarah and her father decided to run the Chicago Marathon in her honor.
We decided to run on behalf of American Cancer Society. After she passed away, people were just so generous.
Together they raised $42,000, and although it was a tough obstacle, Sarah's inspiration to run another marathon comes from the charitable connection she made with others.
I would do it again for that reason. The charity aspect of it, it was just so cool, and people were just crying, and it was so emotional, but it was so you just felt like such a community.
Sarah says it's important to donate to the American Cancer Society because cancer can happen at any time.
I feel like it could happen at any age. My mom is 48, and I feel like that's really young.
Tough times don't last.
Tough people. That's
Colleges Against Cancer President Caitlin Kessel says it's important to support those who are affected by any type of cancer.
Almost every member on our leadership team has had someone in their family either diagnosed or lost to this disease. So we do surround ourselves with each other, people that are good at coping, people that have experience with that.
Sarah has a lot of support from her sorority sisters here at the University of Illinois. She lives in the Alpha Zeta Delta sorority.
It's amazing living in here right now because, you know, when I'm having my rough days, people can tell. And, like, people, they're so supportive.
Cancer does not define Noreen Nolan, and Sarah wants others to remember her compassionate and caring personality.
Basically, in one word to describe her would be love. Like, that's it.
UI7 Newsbreak, I'm Julie Homer.
Sarah continues to raise awareness for all types of cancer in hopes of finding a cure.
Student philanthropy is active on and around campus this year. U of I Evans scholars spend Sunday evenings volunteering. They go to the Time Center Soup Kitchen located in Champaign. Senior Troy Hurdlebrink has volunteered since freshman year.
I've been given so much from other people to get to where I am today that it only feels right to give back to the community.
Scholars enjoy taking the time out of their busy schedules to volunteer. Sophomore Lauren Eversold says the Time Center is a perfect place to help those in need.
The soup kitchen is a good way to help people who are in need and make sure that they're able to eat and have a place to sleep.
Overall, volunteering is a great way for scholars to bond with one another while serving a good cause. Hurdlebrink adds how appreciative everyone feels because of the scholars' efforts.
Face-to-face connection of an individual person coming up to me and saying thank you, I could just see how thankful they are.
Unacceptable.
As the Halloween season comes to a close, we have an update on the most popular candy trick-or-treaters love to eat. CNN reports chocolate candy is the best-selling treat in stores. The National Confectioners Association conducted a survey finding that 72% of all candy spending is on chocolate. America has spent a total of $3.9 billion on candy in the past 4 years. This is equivalent to 3.5 billion chocolate bars, bags, and boxes under 3.5 ounces. Brands including Reese's and M&M's are the most popular.
That wraps up today's news. Be sure to join us next time for all the latest around Champaign-Urbana. I'm Rachel Lloyd.
And I'm Bria Perdaman. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with more UI7 Newsbreak.